Pedro Ruimonte, Pedro Ruimonte or Rimonte, Rimonte 1565 November 30, 1627, was a Spanish composer and musician who spent much of his career in the Low Countries. Early years. He was born in Zaragoza, the son of Pedro Ruimonte and Gracia de Bolia y Latas, and was baptized in the Church of San Pablo in 1565. Pedro had three sisters, Justa, Gracia, and Catalina. It is believed that he studied under Melchor Robaldo, who gave public classes on music in Lazio, although he also could have studied with several other noted musicians who were in the city in the 16th century. Until his arrival in Brussels, nothing further is known of him. Stay in Flanders. It is believed that Ruymonte arrived in Brussels in 1599 as a young man in the choir of the retinue of Archduke Albert of Austria and the Princess Isabel Clara Eugenia, new governors of the Low Countries. On August 17, 1601, he wrote to his sister. In 1604 he announced himself on the title page of Missi Sex as Maestro de la Capilla y de la Cámara de sus Excellencias Maestro de Capilla and of the Chamber of His Majesty. In 1614, the title page of Parnaso Español de Madrigales y Villancicos reads Maestro de Música de la Cámara de los Serenissimos Príncipes Alberto y Dona Isabel Clara Eugenia, Archidukes de Austria. It is probable that this difference in title is due to the arrival in 1605 of Juri de Gursum, Maestro, of the Chapel Real of the Court of Madrid, who was to take charge of the chapel at the Court of Brussels. However, existing records show that Ruymonte was paid more than Gursum, a measure of the esteem in which the Archduke held him. As head of the musicians of the ducal court, aside from overseeing the boy singers, he had under his charge organists and composers of great stature, including the English Peter Phillips and John Bull, then organist at the Cathedral of Antwerp, and the Flemish Peter Cornet and Philip van der Meulen. Works. During his time in Flanders, he published works through the publisher Petrus Phaelcius the Elder. The first was Missi Sex Roman 4. Vi et Vi. Vocum, published in 1604, and consisted of 6 masses which display the full range of musical forms and styles of the era. Among the works are parody masses of works of Palestrina and Guerrero. In 1607 he published Cantions Sex Vocum. The collection contains 4 4-voice motets for Advent and 6 more 5- and 6-voice pieces for Lent, and Antiphon Salve Regina for 5 voices, a psalm, De Profundis, for 7 voices, and Lamentations for 6 voices for Holy Week. Except for the Lamentations, which are preserved in the Collegiata de Albarracin, the rest has been lost. His most important work is the Parnaso Español de Madrigales y Villancicos a Cuatro, Cinco y Seis, published in 1614. It consists of 9 madrigals in Castilian for 4, 5, and 6 voices, and 12 villancicos for 5 and 6 voices. Return to Zaragoza. He returned to Zaragoza in 1614 and worked as a teacher. Among his students were Diego Pontac, and among his friends were Sebastian Aguilera de Heredia. He lived in the city until his death, living with his Catalan wife, the rich widow of Martin de Villanueva, a merchant and dyer.